Our personal outreach system has gained over 1,000 booked meetings within the past 3 months without any ads, cold calling, or email marketing. And we've done this consistently throughout these past 3 months, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step process and how to implement this into your agency right now. So let's jump into it. So this strategy is called lead leveraging, right? Which is essentially you leveraging any of the knowledge that you have right now of your thing. So basically, whether that be your results that you've had for past clients, or whether that just be the knowledge that you have. And if you already have results or knowledge, that can be like a little bit of both, right? I'm gonna jump into those, each of those consistently, right? So this is basically me nitpicking every single outreach strategy that they basically is out there. I've tried literally everything from emails to Instagram DMs to literally everything across the board, and I've taken the best of each of them and tried to like make one thing that is easy to use, that is it's so easy to scale, and that you don't need a lot of money for, right? So it brings in consistent lead flow, which means every single day there's like a set number, whether that be like 100 or 300 that you're sending from, like these are like initial contact that you're sending to your clients. There's a high reply rate. So this is equal to, obviously, like the consistent lead flow is like what we get from emails, that you being able to send a high volume like almost every single day without having too many issues. Obviously with emails get spam, but this is exactly where things do change, right? And a high reply rate, this is where emails kind of fall off, but this is where cold calling does win most of it, and this is exactly where we get that like idea from. And high show up rate, high conversion rate, and high return on investment, right? So the show up rate, conversion rate, this is just you getting that mainly from, I would say, like basically everything. If they're booking appointments, there's going to be a high show up rate if you do actually follow up. So this is us mainly focusing on the follow up, and high return on investment, which meaning that it is low cost and high returns, right? So now going into it, like, so now your first step for this, for any outbound strategy, is obviously going to be while scraping leads, right? So you can do this anyway if you're still like starting out as an agency, meaning it's like your first 3 to 6 months. I'd obviously just suggest Google Maps and like any data scraper, because you can go Google Maps by yourself, but that's just gonna take time. But having like a specific data scraper, it like makes it so much easier. Maybe if you want to knock out about 1,000 messages or 1,000 contacts scraped in one go, a data scraper does that really quickly, and you don't have to waste too much time. But if you're all like an agency that has money to put in and you don't want to waste any of your time or hire anyone else, get like any software that gets these, Apollo, Outscraper. There's like a list of them out there, even going on like Fiverr or something like that, hiring someone to get $10 leads for you. I know there's people who get like $1 leads. Like, these aren't expensive. You shouldn't spend too much time getting leads, but you want to focus so much on this because this is like your first barrier to you qualifying clients, right? Meaning what? You have to focus on your ICP, which is your ideal client profile, right? You want to spend so much time focusing on this because what does your ideal client profile have, right? So an ideal client profile is what the revenue, right? Which means how much money they're making every single month. And as you normally you get to understand your ideal client profile as you get more clients. So if you don't have clients right now, I'll always say just go for a proven system, right? And this strategy is specifically for people who like are doing lead gen or marketing services to physical businesses, whether like construction businesses, physical stores, cleaning, detailers. Like, this works really well for them, whereas other businesses doesn't work too well for, right? So I do a client profile mainly focuses on like the revenue, let's say employees that they have, right? Whether like 1 to 10, that's like a medium-sized business, right? So it's not too big and it's not like too small where they can't anyone. And I know also already running ads, so maybe you'd say, okay, maybe already running ads wouldn't be at this stage, but closer to the end. But they already have a website, right? So a website, so you look for that, right? if you feel like, okay, I need people with websites because that's where all the traffic is gonna go, if that's how your marketing campaigns do work, then that's what your ideal client profile would use, right? And let's say for a given revenue, say they're making, I don't know, 10,000 a month in revenue, right? If that's how your ideal client profile is gonna look, you're gonna keep that in mind. Obviously, some of these things you can't answer when you're scraping leads, but them having a website, you can answer that pretty quickly, right? And them having a certain number of employees, you can answer that pretty quickly as well, right? And this is so important. You have to pick one location. This is important for you to start to personalize, right? To have personalized outreach messages. So it's important for you to pick one location, whether that be one state, one town, or something like that. But if you pick one location, one country, one state, it makes it so much easier, because when you're writing copy for your messages that are going to be sent out, you don't need to spend like an hour every single time like creating a different video that I know a lot of people do out there in the space. They just make sure that your message is still personalized, so people feel like it's targeted towards them and you're not just sending some spam messages. But at the same time, you're not wasting like countless hours making new videos, making new messages, or adding new custom values that can obviously get messed up as the volume increases, right? So picking one location, so that's the state that you're in, the country, or like even if you're going so down, I'd even say like the town. But it really just depends how many is in like your country. If you are doing like car detailers, you can need down to that specific town, and you can add like a tag on wherever you do it from. Either way, this is going to equal to like a personalized outreach, right? I say this is smart personalization, right? Where you don't have to overdo it, because I'm going to tell you 9 out of 10, most people don't really care if it is personalized. I mean, if that name is there, that's great. But 9 out of 10, they don't really care if it's personalized, right? Your next step is going to be making a leverage video. This is just like a Loom video. And I'm going to show you like exactly how the funnel is going to look at the end. But you're basically making a quick video that is actually showing your results or the knowledge that you have, right? So this video can really have anything. I would say for like the intro, I'd always say add like results first. Like results first. This on there, maybe something like that. Obviously, I'm not gonna have like a full script of exactly what to do in like a Loom video to get clients. That's above the scope of this video. But I'd say for the intro, showing like your results for like your past clients. Even if you don't have that, you can just go straight onto like a Mario board like this. That's just showcasing like your plan for them specifically. And this is exactly where you're gonna go when you are starting with your. That's why it's so important when you're sending messages out and you're scraping leads to get for specific states or specific towns or anything like that, because you can get into your Miro board and say, hey, this is how to get called, this is how we're gonna get you clients for your car detailer within Texas, and you show like how you're gonna run ads or something like that in the Miro board, or show live ad accounts that you've worked with before. Like that really builds so much trust, because okay, you actually know what you're doing, you ran ads before, and you want to have this there's a reason why this is step 2, because you want to have this within the second step of you sending message, and I'm going to show you exactly how that's going to look as well. All right, so you're going to show your face, because that's how you build trust. Like the main thing of outbound is literally just you building trust, right? Because trust is the main thing when it comes to you like outreaching, because people are skeptical already that's why we're not doing cold call, because from a cold call from the onset, even if people do feel like they want that service, they're going to be so skeptical just because of the fact that it is a cold call, and they feel like, guys, people are scamming obviously at these times. People scam on SMS. It's just harder to do. People do still scam on SMS. People scam on Instagram and everything like that. That's why people's guards are up. It's less of you not giving value, just more people's guards are up, right? So the main thing for this is just for you to build trust and show you're a real human, right? And I want you to always remember throughout this whole process that with everything happening here, before anyone goes on a sales call, your main objective is not to sell. Like your objective is just to build as much trust as possible. It's like making a friend, you don't make a friend and then you want to make plans immediately. You don't want to go out to the club on like the the first time you meet someone. You want to build trust. You want to see who this person is, this, that. You also want them to get to know you as well. So think of it like that. You building a relationship, right? Obviously, it's through the phone, and the end goal is for you to make money, but you're building a relationship, and that's what you have to focus on when you are doing outreach. Is just building a relationship and less of you actually trying to make a sale, because I'm telling you, 9 out of 10, you're never going to make a sale of the first message of the first phone call, right? But again, with this Maro board, you just like include anything. Whether this be like would this be like live ad accounts, as I said, or this is just you showing cool like it is that you've had before, or ideas that you have. I'd say yeah, it's just really good for ideas and brainstorming, showcasing that you actually know what you're talking about. Because once you can show that you know more than what your client does, you have authority. So going into the like call, you want to have that like upper hand. So then even if there are objections, you can have them swift and easy without you seem like you're making things up, right? If you just come in there with confidence, that's really going to solve a lot of the problem that you might have. And then obviously from there, I'll say keep it like humorous. Don't be too serious about it. Again, it's like you're making a friend. Showcase results, have the Mara board, and I'd say also have something at the end, like if you have any questions or this or that, like a CTA, a simple CTA, not so they can like answer, but just so they can have something to like message you back from, because a lot of people just watch it and then they'll be like, okay, wow, that was a cool video, I want to post this guy. So they won't even message you until you follow up, and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's a cool video, but you want to have them message you to show more interest. So something like I don't know. Yeah, after watching this video, I did exactly this for car detailers. Let me know, or let me know if you feel like this is something that we can implement in your business, or if you want this exact same system within your business, like within the next 30 days to get this results, or get like basically give out your offer at the end of the video. Like it's just way easier for when people are replying. It's way easier for you to sell in the first place. And also say, uh, I don't know about this. If you feel like your offer is good enough, I'll say give your offer on the Mario board. So like, just pitch yourself on the Mario board essentially. Give offer, yeah. I'll say drop the price if it's good enough. Of course, like a lot of people like don't say you should do this, but if you have like a decent price, like you have a starter fee of $300 and you're working with construction companies and they just have to pay for the ads and you get a commission off that, I would say definitely go with that. But if you're like doing a monthly retainer and you don't really know these people that much, obviously if it's a bigger price, you'd like save that for the sales meeting to showcase more results, more trust. But if it's something smaller, you can give the price right there and there. It makes the sale so much easier, especially if you're on new and you're starting off. I would say do it right there and there. Or even if you're not charging anything upfront, like say that in the Mario board exactly. It makes it so much easier for you to close. But for more experienced agencies, obviously just save that for later. But do mention like, oh, we work with 5-figure businesses, so we only work with 5-figure businesses, so that you're basically like filtering them out. So they will hear that like, oh, I'm not a 5-figure business. What am I doing? Second off is messaging, right? This is arguably the most important part. I would say literally, like this is basically the message that like we use every single time, and this is what I found to work the best. It's short and sweet. Like this is exactly like a Instagram DM. This is exactly like an IG DM, right? Because you'd assume like your friend is talking to you, because normally those salesy messages, they're like, oh, get 20% off on this and that, and quick, yeah, that's gonna end you in spam really quickly. You do have to comply with messaging things oftentimes, but after like a couple of messages, if your number isn't new anymore, like I think after 200-300 messages, you no longer have to do that. It's no longer like forced upon you on most of your messaging platforms, but it is still like a good thing to have. But I've noticed this has like a good positive reply rate, and you don't have many people like saying okay no. I mean, you might have a few people just not answering at all, but that's better than not saying no, because it helps you do it deliberately. So just say, this is obviously like in Australia, so people abuse the word mate, and Sam, this is literally just your name. Just having your name there makes it so much easier. You can literally say, hey mate, it's Sam here from Agency Mob. That's my agency. You can literally just say your agency name. If your agency name, like you can literally just say that if you want to make it more professional somewhat, depends on like your market, because I've done this for financial institutions as well, and they're like obviously more professional. This is, I believe, for like a cleaning business or detailing, so that's not too bad. Just so you on Google Maps, nice reviews. This usually just you I wouldn't say giving a compliment. I don't think people really care about that, but just saying that okay, you actually took the time and to like this personalizes it. You can literally say that. Unfortunately, this was a campaign done for, I think, the whole of, I think I did this for America and UK and Australia. So I didn't really specify which country, so I just added the Google Maps. But if you want to get better like reply rate, add the country that. So I saw you Google Maps, and yeah, I was curious if you've ever tried Meta as AI. Normally I'll show you, we have 4 variations of these messages, but this is like a good one. I was curious if you ever tried Meta as an AI. This is like your unique mechanism, right? And this is just gonna separate you from like your competition, which like our Facebook ads or just Meta ads itself. When people hear ads, a lot of people will get triggered just because like people have had bad experiences. They've tried a lot of things before. Mind you, you are working physical businesses. They've been in the game maybe 4, 5, 6 years. If you're able to contact them, they have a website and you can run ads for them. So they'll be like triggered from these words. So that's why we want to have something unique that they've never heard of. So purely, I've had people who we book meetings and close them purely because they were just interested of what Meta as an AI like entails. I'm like, if you can't differentiate yourself from like what it actually offers, just like make it sound different, and then that's gonna get you at least like a couple more clients easy, right? To bring more jobs, like that's basically like the question. And like I made a quick video, which is like the video that you made, the Loom video. I made a quick video to show you a few ideas. Can I send it over here? This is basically you just getting permission to I'll say pitch them in the video. Once this video is sent, and I should have added this, but once this video is sent, you're gonna give them a call, right? At this exact moment, you're gonna give them a call. You're gonna ring the number, booking the appointment. This is where literally all the magic is done. It's not that hard because this is essentially a warm lead. You already know that this person is interested, and this is also why you add your name there. Because once you add your name, you're like, hey, mate, it's Sam here. Or Sam, where? Oh, no, I just sent you a message a few minutes ago. Like, oh, okay, that. But I'm so even if you call them, you see that God is up. I say, oh yeah, man, yeah, I know, yeah. I just read the message. I just answered it a couple minutes ago. That God is down. And you see, as you're sending this was like an hour later, and they already sent like a message, and the show with the exclamation mark, super excited. So when you give them a call, it's not a cold call anymore. It's a warm call. This is a warm prospect, and don't waste too much time on it. With this, you're just gonna ask your qualifying questions before. Hey mate, how's it going? Is this a good time? Like, is this a good time to chat, or you're quite busy? They might lie and something like that if they already like know this is a pitch, or like something they'll like just lie or something like that. But either way, you can always just call them back after they watch the video. So don't spend too much time fussing if they're lying or not. Just don't focus on booking them call that moment. There's always like another time to book the call, so don't worry about it. But you're just gonna ask qualifying questions like, yeah, also have you ever run ads before, or have you just really been focusing on word of mouth? You get the answer. This is literally just based off your qualifying question that you feel like, yeah, they'll client profile they have, like the client that you have now or the client you want to have in the future, the answer that they'll get, you're trying to get those answers out of them, right? If they don't have the answer, you can literally just be like, okay, well, you're not really who are targeting, but I can still send it over. Hopefully it helps you. Like that's literally how you're gonna end it if they're not. But if they are, just I would say have 2 questions in there. Makes it so much easier to like qualify them. Literally, all you have to ask you 2 questions. For anyone, if you're working with car detailers, ask them how long you've been in business for, or 3 months. Okay. How many? Sometimes I will ask straight up. Okay, how much are you making a month? Just because that's just like an easier way for me. I'm just like straightforward. I don't want to really be around the park. They're going to inflate it. Everyone is always going to inflate how much they make. That's just how it's going to be. People inflate their close rates, how much they make, how many jobs they do. But you're just gonna try to go for that. So maybe divide that by 2 every single time you get an answer. That works pretty well. But that's exactly what you're gonna do when you're on the call, right? And then just have like a brief statement, right, of you just explaining like what you do, a time frame. You're gonna have a time frame in there, so whether that's 1 to 2 weeks, right? That's a good time frame. And like expected input, like how much money is gonna cost, right? So obviously if you don't drop the price on you, I wouldn't suggest dropping the price on the call like that, by giving like a rough figure or telling them, yeah, well, it really just depends on what you're interested in, because we work with your budget. That's a really good answer, especially if you're strictly focused on running ads for them and obviously they choose the budget. That's a really good answer. If you say that, that's going to be really good. And then when you're transitioning into that, you're like, okay, I'm going to send over the video. And but just before I do that, obviously rather you don't know exactly what we offer, so that's why the video is there. But I can book into a quick 30-minute roadmap. You can say roadmap meeting or anything. Just say a quick 30-minute custom roadmap where I'll show you exactly how it's gonna look if we go into your agency. This is basically you just pitching your sales call, but you don't need to be like, yeah, I can get you into a sales call. You know, that's the gods out there. See no reason for that. I can put you into a meeting, kind of boring. See no reason for that. You know, you're working with physical businesses, they don't really care about all that shit. You know, so you'd be like, oh, I can get you into a custom roadmap meeting where I map out exactly what we're gonna do for you guys. You know, and it's free of charge. There's no authority to it. There's no pressure. If you don't feel like you're up for it on the day off, you can just cancel it anytime, and then never bother you again. And that's a perfect way for them to get into the meeting. So this is like a nice easy way for you to start like booking meetings. That's how you transition. This is basically like a quick overview of like what your script is gonna have, right? So you can literally just put that through ChatGPT and say, I'll make a script for like a warm call, asking qualifying questions, what I do, a time frame, and how much money they can expect, and transition into that meeting. And literally just replay that. Obviously, works mainly with you, but I'd say this is a warm call, so you won't feel any pressure at all. If you down cold calls and you've kind of got over the fear factor in the beginning stages, warm calls will be a breeze for you, right? And then now you're gonna have like your follow-ups, right? And this is for like the initial messages being sent. This will be before they even answer, right? So you're gonna have your follow-ups. As I told you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 variations of the messages up. Yeah, so you have like 4 of these, right? So you have 4 different versions, right? So what these versions are testing is, first off, I wouldn't say the intro, is first off the beginning part. If you want to just change that, because like for me, I changed like the Google Maps part. I found that works really well, just because I was looking at the big audience. But I said like start off with a small, like broad specific country, so we don't need to test that part. You'll be mainly testing the unique mechanism. So whatever you run through ChatGPT, like just run 4 different options and see which one sounds best to you, and then work with whichever one has booked you most appointments, right? And preferably whichever one has booked you most sales. But within a week's time you should see that, so you just change it so you don't waste too much money. You want to test the unique mechanism. And the last part, which is, I made a quick video for you. Like you can change that into like, I made a custom word or what. You can just change the wording of it, because essentially the wording is what you're gonna notice. It like shifts people, right? But this right here, you can literally just write this down to ChatGPT and ask it for 4 variations of this specifically for you, and you should be golden. Most of them should converse. You won't see that much of a difference, but it's just good to have it. Literally everything after this is still the same. Everything after this is the same. Like I think you wait. Yeah, I normally wait. I have a waiting time of, I think, 6 hours. Is it 6 or I think it's 34 minutes. I always do like odd minutes, because a lot of people be like, oh, well, this guy just messaged me an hour ago, and the exact same time, 1 hour later, he messages me again. So that's kind of weird. They can kind of smell it's automated, So I wait 34 minutes there. Then I send like a follow-up message that's basically saying, hey, I really feel like the thing would be really good for you. Just let me know if you're interested. Sometimes, I think for 2 of these, right now I have just showing results. So a screenshot of an ad account. It's not really going so well with those screenshots, just because, okay, that seems too salesy and like less helpful. But definitely just saying, hey man, I feel like the video would do some value for, let me know if you're interested. then this literally just, hey man, last message, let me know if you're interested. So this is your last message. Hey, last message, let me know if you're still interested in that quick video. If not, totally fine. That's how you're gonna end it off, right? Because you're not gonna waste your money. You do this after another 24 hours, right? And then now this is usually just a wait for 24 hours again until like I delete contact, because you don't want to be, if you don't delete the contact, you're going to be messing up the matrix. Sometimes you'll have like a toll-free number, which you should clean when you're getting the leads. You should clean like all the numbers when you have mobile numbers, but sometimes you will have like a toll-free number that messes up your matrix. So I just delete the contact completely, because either way it doesn't really mess up anything too much. If they don't respond at all, that's just whatever. Most of the time you just have people saying no in the beginning, right? So moving on to that, you have your message being sent out constantly, so you can pick. I know some people start with 100 and go up from there, but I'd say like a good place to start is 300, because that's a good number. Within the first 7 days, you should be getting at least 5 meetings booked within that week. Like if you're sending down a message, even if you're really shit at qualifying them, if you just follow everything I just said there step by step, you should have at least one 1 to 5 meetings booked within the first week. Right? Now, the most important thing I would say is basically everything is important, but the most important thing I would say is tracking. Right? You want to have like a good sales funnel. A good sales funnel is nothing without like following up your tracking, right? So of course you can see sending like 300 messages, 100 messages, right? We're tracking the replies, we're tracking the positive replies, we're tracking, and we see we have a base, right? And obviously like you can just use the base here. The positive reply rate is like 40%. You can literally get this from, you can literally make this yourself, just having the percentage, then taking notes every single day. It's a tedious task, I won't lie, but it takes less than 10 minutes. This whole process together, once you have everything, obviously it just takes a bit of time to build up the automations, but that maybe takes like a day. But once you have everything, after that, you're golden. Like there's literally nothing else you need to do. You work maybe an hour or two a day max. I mean, if you're only sending 100 messages to start off with, you maybe work 30 minutes in total. The other 30 minutes are just like mucking around and waiting to get on calls. That's about it, right? So that's basically everything in terms of that. And with that, the next steps, right? The next step after this, if you are looking to implement this into your own business without obviously having to run the automations yourself, hire people to take the calls for you, and basically scrape leads and do all of this by yourself, then DM me on Instagram. We can definitely sort this out for you, run the whole automation down for you, and make sure that you book leads consistently every single day. And normally within a week we have at least 5 meetings booked, and with a amount of 10 to 40 meetings booked every single month. So if this is something you're interested in, and your marketing agency, you're looking to target local businesses, tired of spending money on ads, tired of emails, tired of cold calling, hit us up on Instagram. We'll make sure to get you right.